Hello and welcome to Wickerman 2006.
Everyone's really up for it, everyone's really friendly and they get well into it.
It's good to come to a festival where it's a bit more chilled out, you know, and there's...
Hello! How you doing?
He's chilled out.
Everyone's been quite welcoming. It's a great festival, seems to be a great festival. Just, you know, everyone's so friendly.
Pretty laid back.
It's really chilled, man. It's totally chilled.
It's where Tina Park should be, probably.
These two have just got here. They were supposed to be like sound checking at 11 this morning. So I phoned at 11 o'clock this morning and saying like, where are you? Oh, we're just having a coffee and a scone in Kirkcudbright.
Yeah. It's alright for some people.
Yeah. So we were sweating away, setting up all that gear. You were having like high tea.
Yeah. It just seems to be a really good atmosphere. Everyone's here to watch bands and enjoy themselves, and it relaxes you. And right from the start of our gig, everyone was up for it, and it's good as being an artist and see not having to win people over. It's
This is a pure added bonus, but would probably come anyway. And just see a couple of good bands and just get absolutely wrecked.
generally the whole lineup's been really strong this year.
It has been Solus Tent especially.
The Solus Tent is really,
been absolutely wicked.
Machete are like two fantastic bands. The other one's like almost coming on next.
Data Panic last night.
Data Panic were good last night.
Panic were awesome. Daikini's play? Daikini's play.
Some way up for that tent. Good size to play in, great stage, good atmosphere, so couldn't ask for any more.
That's by far the best tent I've been in. Apart from that one, that's where I'll go now.
Hill Tent's the best tent to be in.
I suppose the Taj. We've got the single release coming out on. The single's going to be released on the 14th of August.
14th of August. Serotonin it's called.
Yeah, so that's going to be out. Then we're working on our second single. Then we're going to the studio to work on the album. So that's the plans for pretty much the rest of the year. I think a few more. I think there's another tour coming up as well, kind of towards November.
November start next year. So hopefully just bigger and better things for us. Really.
Animalistic.
Techno.
Real techno.
Melted.
Boombastic. Success. Smells a success.
You smell the one of them, man.
Can I ask about the name of the band?
No. You can't.
We don't like to talk about it, man. It was like we had this old drummer, right? He's a new drummer. The old drummer, right?
He's going to be the old drummer.
It's called Kenji Kobai. What happened was he actually disintegrated, and all we got was a gelatinous blob on the drum stool.
It was spontaneous combustion.
It was a combustion, huh?
I've got his name tattooed on my arm. That says
That says Kobai.
Kenji Kobai there.
Kenji Kobai. So he actually
In tribute.
combusted, and just that was it. Just a wee blob, a gelatinous blob on the drum stool. We just left it at that. Really got a new drummer in, so we thought we'd kind of call it Kobai, just
in memory.
A bit of memory.
Tribute.
A tribute to him.
Kenji,
man.
To
Kenji. I miss that guy.
Cheers. We keep him in a fishbowl in the van.
We do. We've got his ashes just sitting in the van. It's always there, man. Just remind us.
I first got involved with the festival in 2002, and that was the first year of the festival. I was down here doing a review of the film because it was the 30th anniversary of the movie. And this whole area, within a sort of 15-20 mile radius, there's about 6 locations that were used in the film. And so I was down here filming the locations, and I came to, and I'm not even a great festival fan, you know. If I wanted to stand in a muddy field surrounded by a bunch of nutters getting deaf, and I joined the territorial army. You know, I don't see the point. But this, for some reason, this festival I really enjoyed because it was so small scale. You know, especially the first year, there was like a couple of local blues bands playing. You know, people from the local area, and it was hard. I think there was like one lawn sausage stall or something. I was really kind of, you know, not what you'd expect from festivals because they've kind of gone so corporate. And now, 2006, 4 years on, I think this year is the kind of pinnacle of it, really. I think it's just at the right size as regards to the crowd and what facilities they can put on that works for this fest. It gets any bigger, it'll get too big for itself. And it's kind of on the cusp right now. So, I mean, it's great to be here. So you can wander, and it's so different from Tea in the Park and stuff, because I tend to think that they're like your lager-out festivals, you know. You might be a professional lawyer or accountant outside, but as soon as you end up at Tea in the Park, you're a Ned, you know. But this is not like that. This goes out to all the Tea in the Park people out there.
Wrote you over the same line, over I will not fight.
Pretty much since the turn of the year we've just been touring constantly, and a lot of that's been in Europe and obviously here as well and stuff like that, and we've done a lot. We went on tour with Low and stuff like that, and we've done some pretty decent support tours, and over summer we're doing festivals and stuff, you know, and I think none of us have ever really been under any illusion that our record was going to just explode and just go like the Arctic Monkeys, you know. We always knew that it was going to be like a bit of a slow burner, you know. But we've got a lot of confidence in our record, you know. We believe in it, and we're starting work on a second one, and you know we think we'll be alright.
Well, that's good. From like last year when it was what we were listening to was I can't remember what was it an EP or whatever it was. Certainly had the Sister Singer, Sister Soul, was it a single?
Yeah, we put it as a single, yeah.
So there was that, and obviously some of those songs are still on the album. But the album sounds, as a whole, when you listen to it, sounds a bit different from what you were doing then, or what I saw you doing then.
I think we've basically written the entire album over a period of about 2 years, so what we were doing at the start obviously differs greatly from what we were doing at the end.
One of the challenges of making a record because of that was to try and because we recorded it over a couple of months, and as Gary says, it was like songs which had a kind of lifespan of a couple of years. It was the challenge was to kind of hone it in and make it sound like a record, and not make it sound a bit kind of disjointed or something, you know. And I interrupted you there.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
Well, I think it does. I think it sounds like a record. But when I first heard it, I was surprised by tracks like When We Were Wolves, which sounded different from. And you want that on the record, obviously, but it sounded like really quite, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Sister Singer, Sister Soul, and I keep interrupting you. So
No, it's cool. When We Were Wolves and maybe The Reputation of Ross Francis were perhaps a bit of a reaction, and they were written in a totally different way to what we had previously, in that we wrote them in the studio and we had a bit more at our leisure, you know, a bit more time, and we had a bit more sorry, not at our leisure, we had a bit more there to use instrumentation, and just we're under a bit more pressure, and I think we wanted to do something that wasn't my latest novel, you know. It was something a little bit different, and I think we surprised a few people, and that was what we intended to do.
So when you do your next one, are you going to keep going in that sort of direction, or do you...
I'm not going to purposely go in any certain direction, really.
See what happens.
I think when we start making an album, or when we start writing anything, we just want to enjoy it ourselves and have fun, and we do kind of want to keep people guessing, because I think that's part of it, but I think it is quite natural. So although we might have a strong idea of what we want to do at the start, by the time we're halfway through it or 3/4 of the way through it, the idea's totally changed, and that's what makes it interesting for the five of us. I think through having 5 songwriters in the band, I think that's just the way it's always going to be. That's interesting for everyone, I suppose.
just kind of develop as you're going along in terms of the recording?
Pretty much. It's like songs change and evolve and stuff like that, and
They turn out totally different
Turn
from
out
what they
totally
start
different.
a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? It's interesting and fun for us as well to keep doing it that way as well.
it's hard to pin down how we write songs because every song kind of comes about in a different way, and it's kind of it sounds totally bizarre, and it probably sounds like we're just kind of giving out answers that people might want to hear, but it's completely true. You know, it's just a total dynamic of just it's just a completely natural way things work. We just throw an idea into a kind of pot, and everyone kind of has a wee shot at it, and it just turns out in a completely different way every time. You know.
Cool. Well, that's it.
Can I ask about the tattoo? Can you show that to camera?
They have to.
He's going to get a picture of me in there later on.
It's a wee kind of plaque that I'm going to put Chris's face and Chris's name underneath because he's my hero and I love him.
I just think that's the most beautiful thing I've ever
Well, I guess how I've seen the festival change is that it's like, you know, when a DJ would try and please everybody and you'd have disparate crowds. This is before music became homogenized, you know, and now it's just like there's specialist radio stations for specialist musical forms. An old school DJ, much like this festival, would have to please everybody. So you got punks, skins, rastas, you know, the whole gamut of the sort of British subcultural sort of melting pot comes here. And there's also the thing that there's no kind of ageist thing going on as well. So you can see bands in the smaller stages like Solus who are young, up and coming, but then you can see the bands you should have seen 20 or 30 years ago. You know, and it's, for me, like being a bit older, it's actually really good to see and meet the Buzzcocks, the Damned, Stiff Little Fingers. You know, last night I met Wilco Johnson, and of course in this day and age with digital cameras, I just got tons of photographs on my website, dogsizecat.com. And so it's great for me because I get to meet all these old guys, being amused with myself. I should have met 20, 30 years back.
But I was a bit worried because I thought the Wicker Man actually looked like a Wicker woman last year. So I was a bit worried that they were going to actually maybe single out a woman. Yeah.
Like you. No,
Yeah,
it's just livestock, isn't it? That's all they put in the Wicker Man.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Yeah, just sheep and stuff like that.
Cats and stuff. What about the new album? Lust. Yeah, it's finally out. And,
It's quite an old album to us. It's made like a couple of years ago. It's just been like a torturous process getting released, but it's brilliant. It's finally out. You know, we made it with the French producer Kid Loco. Came over to Glasgow and just recorded it in our flat.
Madonna was like a big fan of his. Like his last album, Kill Your Darlings, was like on her. It was like her second favourite album or something of that year, and I sang on that album. And so I think her people got in touch with his people to produce for her some tracks. I think it would have been about the time that she worked with that other French, Merwise. So she probably went on to Merwise because Kid Loco said no, but he was just kind of like, you know, I do not work with crap people. So instead he decided to come over and work with us.
I don't work with them, but I was recording a record for the Pastels, and they knew him because Katrina sang on his album. We just sent him some stuff we'd done, you know, thinking we'd never hear back from it, just on an off chance, but he did. So he remixed a track, and then the kind of payment for that was Louise singing on his second album. And then it's what Les is producing our album, and of course the payment for that is Louise singing on the rest of his records till the end of time.
Yeah, for the rest of my life. She's only got another 40,000 songs to do. But
Is it worth it though? Yeah, it is, because the stuff that he does is just all brilliant, and it's all quite different. Like the one I was doing with Brian Auger playing on it, that was like a real old school kind of hip hop track, and I got to like shout jump, jump, and like pretend I was back in the old school.
East Coast Ride.
Yeah.
East Coast Ride massive.
EK Hood.
Yeah. Tell us about Serbia. Oh, that was just totally crazy. It was just we got this email from this DJ who worked for Studio B Studio B92. And this guy, he was like the Serbian John Peel. He's like really respected over there, and he just spends all his days downloading stuff off the net. And he downloaded The World is Upside Down, which is on Lust, and it's 10 minutes long, but he just kept playing it out, and because their chart's based on airplay rather than sales, it just started off, it went in at number 18, and then eventually it got to number 8 or something.
7.
And then they just said, come over and play, and it was just absolutely crazy. We're getting interviewed by the Serbian Carol Smiley, and you know, these guys had a great time because they were, girls recognised them in clubs and all that. From
Something not bring back a
Didn't cost.
yeah, that's
cost
right.
anything,
Yeah,
it's
Charlie.
great.
Well, we've lost our guitarist Charlie because he's just got married to a girl that we met over there. So Sandra, I'm sure they'll be very happy, and she's not Yoko Ono at all. That's okay.
What are we up to after the festival then?
I don't know. Well, we have to finish our next
that's right.
album.
We've been recording this week, so it's just recording in the next couple of weeks and finishing off the next
We're playing
record.
the Fringe, and we'll probably tour around the release of our next single, which will be The World is Upside Down. We've recorded a more live version of that and edited it so that people can play it on the radio, hopefully. And that's coming out probably early October, so we'll do a wee tour of Britain around that time as well to promote that. So
you're working on a new album at the moment as well, in between touring?
yeah, it's sounding really good.
It's nearly there. Mind you always say that, it's nearly there. Finishing things is really hard. Starting things is easy, finishing them is really hard. But,
because the last album was more of a kind of studio project, this album sounds like a lot more lively because it's like
It's
we're
done live,
we've actually got a band now. When we made Lost, it was just really Louise and myself, and we just sort of pulled in various musicians as and when we needed them, but now we've actually got a band, so...
And I think going to Serbia really knocked us into shape as a band as well.
Yeah.
And the next stop next year is China, because apparently people like us in China, so they want us to go out there for 2 months and tour.
If we can get sponsorship, so
yeah.
if
So
anyone's
we've
watching
only
this
got like
wants to
another
sponsor us to go to China.
160 countries to get through, and then we'll be.
Oh, we're not going to drive there, are we? We drove to Serbia.
Well,
It was like,
that's a condition, isn't it?
absolutely.
You need a couple
Well,
of
he
big
was threatening
transits.
to kill us all. But
Yeah, that's right.
You got the ferry.
I drank a lot of coffee, you know. I mean,
He didn't sleep for 6 days, and he just drank Turkish coffee.
He was
6 days.
But he was a trumpet god in Serbia. They were just like...
it helps that trumpet's the national instrument over there.
Yeah. But he was surrounded by groupies. They were just like... it's like a
themselves
cult
up.
of Robert Henderson. What?
Yeah, we're just going to get t-shirts with Robert on them and just sell them in Serbia. I think it's
I am God.
Sometimes with festivals, it takes until the last day for the festival to kind of have its own cohesion, where everyone can just ambles around and there's none of that sort of heavy vibe. But this place seems to have that from day one, and I don't know whether it's the alcohol or sunstroke, but I kind of feel the same way. You know, when I'm wandering around here, I don't feel threatened in the same way as I would in some of the bigger festivals. You know, I've touched wood and never seen any kind of aggravation in this festival. It's always been really calm, and everyone seems to get on. And I think that's again a testament to the programmers of the music, because you get so many different musical styles, and I think there's a sort of live and let live philosophy that runs through a lot of these groups. You know, like I say, punks, skins, and rastas kind of tolerate each other because they're not all 17 now, are they? They've grown up, you know. So that kind of division between punks and Teds is gone, really. So I think that kind of feeds into the festival. You know, you tend to think it's like the whole place has become a touchstone for those sort of British subcultural groups to gather. You know, and I know there's a lot of other festivals that try and do the same thing, and I think that's the way festivals should go. Really, they should be looking towards these sort of what was a sort of cult group and sort of exploit that, really, because there's loads of these people who just aren't represented, and this kind of festival does just that. a lot of people talk about the crack, you know, where you come somewhere, it's the vibe and all that, and I never really bought into that because I go somewhere to see something. But the truth is, this festival, I mean, I know people that literally don't move from their tent and just get completely ripped and get high for the whole weekend, you know. I don't see any bands, like, you know, and they have a great time. That's me I'm talking about there. No, I'm your convivial compere on the main stage doing my bit for Queen and Country. How did a Welsh guy end up being the MC of a festival on the borders in Scotland? I'm going to get found out.
Hello, I'm David McGregor. I sing and play the guitar in Kid Canaveral.
I'm Rose McConaughey and I'm the bassist and backing vocalist of Kid Canaveral.
I'm Kate Lasda and I play guitar and try to sing sometimes.
And I'm Dan Sheehy and I only play the drums.
That's not right, is it? Really?
Did you always invade the stage for Popup's gigs?
Yeah, normally.
Yeah. If we're playing with them.
I don't know, it's a bit of a habit now.
It's an indie pop exchange.
Smash.
It's an indie pop exchange. It's like
they
we're
always
best
jump
as
on
friends.
stage.
It's more retaliation than anything.
Yeah, we get them back
us,
because they jump on the stage, you know.
So how long have you been together then?
Roughly 2 years. But we started off like in St Andrews. We all met at uni there, and we played some gigs that should probably be forgotten about. But we played the first proper gig. We opened for like Joyza from King Crusoe. That was really good.
Then we opened for Tiffany.
Yeah.
I think we're alone
It's
now.
probably the low point of that career.
Yeah. It wasn't a low point. It's just it was my 21st birthday. It's a good anecdote, but I was steaming and we were terrible. Well, I was terrible. I was rubbish.
He was very drunk and he got bras thrown at him.
Yeah, I got hit in the face by a bra. It wasn't Tiffany's. No, she was there with some hairy guy.
She played like three songs and then left. 3 songs to a backing track.
Yeah. She played I think We're Alone Now twice, but one of them was a dance remix. It was intense.
It was epic.
So, I mean, how did you get that gig? Was it?
Well,
you might not like her, but that's...
No, it was good. It was all good. Yeah, it was, never said we didn't like her. Let's not go that far.
No. Tiffany, legend. I like the break it down bit, and I think We're Alone Now.
She's a powerful enemy to make, so I wouldn't say we don't like her. But,
yeah.
No, we were asked by the union because like there was not many bands in St Andrews at the time, and it was us and another band from St Andrews that played there. That was good. We're not allowed to talk about it. We get shot.
Yeah.
I met his girlfriend. His maybe girlfriend. Though. No one knows.
Actually, I made them move up once. I was in his class for our physical geography thing because I did geology, and I came in like I was hungover. I came in late and I had to make him shift up once. That's my claim to fame. Yeah. It's like, can you move? Your Highness.
You should have borrowed the pen.
Yeah.
And kept it.
And did he move?
He did. He looked quite shocked.
Quite benevolent of him, really.
I think he was, I don't know, there was a guy stood up in the back row, put his hand inside his jacket. He calmed down once he saw I wasn't a mental, so it was fine.
How did you find how are you finding the festival and how did the...
No, it's brilliant. I loved it, it was great.
It was really
Yeah, it was really
good.
good.
Amazing.
It was really good. I don't know, everyone's really up for it. Everyone's really friendly and they get well into it. Even my shocking banter was...
The mist is atmospheric.
Very atmospheric.
When they burn the man, it'll be exciting.
It adds a horror effect to it, it's good.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay for the burning?
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Hopefully.
We will.
It's a good festival, we should stay and enjoy
Can be
it.
a bit of sacrifice to round off an evening.
Exactly.
Only Nicolas Cage was here.
So what have you got coming up then? Gigs?
You know
Playing in
our
Fife on Sunday.
Yeah, we're playing on Sunday again. Jet set to Fife. And
What will you on the year?
we've got lots of gigs that we've not confirmed yet, but coming up we're playing Edinburgh and Glasgow a couple of times in the near future, which will be good. And we'll be sharing a stage with Popup again in Bannerman's in Edinburgh on the 5th of August.
Which will be lovely.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. We'll have some stage invasions.
Yeah. Let's even get everyone who's in the crowd on the stage.
Who are you looking forward to seeing at the festival? Is there anyone you really like to?
I'm looking forward to seeing the Aliens because one of them crocked me last night at football.
Yeah.
I want to see Data Panic. I'm a best fanboy, and I'll just cry a little when they go on stage. It'll be great. So that's something to look forward to.
For people that don't know you that well, how would you describe your music?
I love this question.
How would we describe our music?
Listenable.
Yeah.
Bearable.
Indie pop, fun.
Yeah, indie pop, nonsense stuff you can
I
dance
said that to someone recently. I said, "Oh, you're kind of like
excellent
indie pop, kind of dancey, rocky stuff," and they just said, "All right, like everyone else." I thought,
But
"Well,
no.
that's lovely."
No,
not like
we
everyone
have
else,
we have an extra something.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we don't
you, Dan.
Indie pop, not like everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
we're
Indie pop, not like everyone else. Yeah. Yeah.
God.
You can sing along and you can dance about it, apparently.
Yeah.
And you get a banana if you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do avoid
That was fun.
bananas, potassium, minerals.
Stop.
Shut up.
You know, Christopher Lee had a sort of Indian summer of, you know, much like Sean Connery, didn't he? You know, later on in life, he got really good roles, Lord of the Rings and all the rest of it. So he did, and during that moment when he was kind of back right in the limelight, he was still championing the Wicker Man, which I thought was a testament to his character, even though he's a completely bloated egotist, from what I've read on the internet. But I mean, the film itself, the Wicker Man film. I mean, there was an article in The Guardian last week, and a lot of the new crop of very earnest, bearded young men, folk singer-songwriters cite the movie and the movie's music as a major influence. And that's certainly been the case with a lot of people who got into the film. But to be honest with you, because I like the film, right, but I'll tell you, I think the film is a cult success, despite itself. Because I think it's unintentionally funny. I don't think any of that stuff was written in. I don't think those comical characterizations were created by the director or in the writing. I think that's us putting our modern kind of mindset on this film. And of course, it's peculiarly British. And for me, you know, I love those British films. I love the sort of era of the Quatermass films and the early Doctor Who's, and those films are tied into a sort of a sinister sort of Britain, or a part of Britain that was kind of like America is now, I suppose, where you could have these kind of small groupings of deliverance type people who lived outside of normal society, you know.
Well, there was early indication of eventual confrontation. Should have had the conversation way before the situation moved beyond escalation to continual frustration and tears. Yeah, I'm a very stuck the line, couple of people crying, meant that there was something dying, and yet they kept on trying to keep the other ones replying to questions that they were supplying with fear. And so she felt that she had to call him with only half a minute. This would appall him, and in the eighth attempt he walked up the malice to say, "What's the matter now?" He asked if there was any doubt. "What's the matter now?" He said, "We come looking for answers." And what's the matter now? You haven't even asked me a question. What's the matter now?
Hi, we're Popup, and we've been playing at the Wickerman Festival in Dumfries, and we've been getting really drunk and sunburned and checking out some great bands. Cider with no labels on it for the BBC, because they don't like that kind of stuff.
It's White Lightning.
And yeah, we had White Lightning on stage and we couldn't afford White Lightning today, so we've got the label-less surplus cider today.
Army.
And should we talk about music or any of that kind of stuff? We don't actually really like music very much, and we just do this for money, really, and to get on the BBC. And there isn't much money going. And right, should we do it in serious?
Yeah, let's
we're
next. How's your weekend been? You've been here for 2 days. What have you been up to?
We've just been
back to cider, really. Again,
it's mainly cider based and other stuff that we can't necessarily say that loud.
Cider.
We had pheasant burgers.
That was pleasant.
Like really late. That was
nice.
at 4 a.m. Pheasant burgers. They killed the pheasants in front of us and served it up in a nice little bun for £2.50. and we skipped happily into the night. And apart from that,
on a better note, we're really glad to be down here because
what are you doing all that media savvy crap for, man?
You've got to get that shit media.
We are really glad to be here because we got to come down here for free, and it's great. And we played a set that we really enjoyed, and we had a really nice crowd. And
on the Popup.
And come on, farmer.
We don't know him though.
Should we do all that nice bit again? Yeah, we are really happy to be here, and yeah, we really enjoyed our set yesterday. We saw some brilliant bands, mainly in the Solus Tent. You know, Kid Canaveral, friends of ours who are fantastic. The Aliens, the Hussies, Data Panic. My latest novel were incredible. Yeah, the Aliens were brilliant. We saw the Alex Harvey band who are
still on,
actually just still on, and that chick there. And we're going to go later on and watch a Wickerman being burned. Yeah. Hopefully there's
really nice vibe, man. It's
a policeman inside it.
The single just out, Scotland.
Yeah, our first single, Lucy, What You Trying to Say, has just been released in Scotland, and we're just pretty glad to have something to actually stand by, because we've been kind of touring and playing all over the place, and it's now just feels a bit more proper that we've got something that we can say is ours and we've done and it's out there, and we like that, and it's going okay, and we'll hopefully be recording later in the year a bit more.
What's the plans for after the single later on the year?
After the single, I'm not entirely sure. We're playing a million more shows. The plan for us really is we're playing
another couple of releases as well.
Yeah, so
well, we want to get back to writing music as well.
Yeah.
We've got loads of songs we need to finish writing, so we're going to go into the studio and practice a lot.
When you're doing 20 gigs a month and your part-time job, it's really difficult to write anything. We're poor and just doing gigs now, but to not get time for anything.
So next month we've got
practice.
Yeah, we're going to actually get into a rehearsal studio for a bit and hopefully finish our album next month and get recording later in the year, and hopefully there'll be. But we've got a couple other single releases.
We've got a release with Pure Groove, limited release with Pure Groove. It's a single, just a nice one, and also Argo's Pop.
Argo's Pop,
which is a really nice one actually.
Yeah, and. So there's a lot happening, but as I say, the main thing for us is to get back in the studio next month.
I think Galloway described you as like Scotland's equals of the Arctic Monkeys. What do you think of that?
I think the Arctic Monkeys can play a hell of a lot better than us, and I don't know, like
we're the Articulate Monkeys.
We're the Articulate Monkeys. Yeah, that was we hatched that up. I don't know. I think a lot of that just really comes down to. What?
Let's try and answer the question.
Are we going to answer the question? Vic talks. That's just nonsense. Basically, we're like Motorhead or something like that. That's more our kind of bag. We're like Scotland's Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
That's
end.
It went really well. It was great. It was hot. It was hot up there. I felt like I was having a shower.
I know. I think we're probably the sweatiest live band in the UK.
We are. It's terrible, man.
There's nothing ladylike about us at all.
No. You see some bands that come off stage and they look totally pristine. We always come off a total wreck.
I don't understand it. Yeah. It was good though.
It was great. It was excellent. The crowd were.
We're tired. We arrived a day early, so. We kind of were up, we're struggling, but it was good.
Didn't sleep as much last night as we should.
No, we didn't. And I've been peaks and troughs today.
I don't think these guys came home. You didn't come home.
I didn't come home, no, that's true.
Did the all-night party last night?
Apparently so. I was trying to be good though, man.
Trying.
Trying.
You know, it's worth
trying and failing. Trying being the operative one. Yeah,
that was a good night. It was a good night.
That was excellent.
I just remember being in the reggae tent and trying to stop Callan from playing the bongos. No, you can't do it. It would destroy our reputation.
I'm not a big bongo fan, but once somebody starts playing them, I just can't help it.
Yeah, well, the total, because you're the total stereotype dude that you expect to find playing
Guy
the
with dreads playing the bongos.
No, it's not a good thing,
No,
but I can't help it. It's just the way it is. As Bruce Hornsby once said. Indeed.
Is this your first time with the Wickerman?
It is, yeah.
As a band, yes.
It is.
It's
great.
different. It's really different.
It's wee.
It's wee, aye.
I had to stop.
Don't you wee?
We have some swearing in our songs, and there was all these little kids right in front of me, and I was like,
You didn't say.
I
You didn't
just-
say.
I was just like, how good we used to, and I just looked at their little faces, and I was like, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
You were quite right, actually.
They were only little.
What did you say?
Tiny,
Copper lead then?
I just went.
We used to.
We used to.
I know.
Natasha.
Doesn't matter.
Natasha knows that one.
It came from a friend. It came from a friend. It was actually one of his song lyrics, and we just loved it when we heard it. And it's actually important to distinguish that it's actually an adjective because it's got a dash between the word off. So it's actually it's not actually swearing. It's actually a descriptive thing of big. It's like a big machete, not. A lot of foreigners don't get it, but it's a Scottish thing, isn't it?
Americans.
Saying me, who's from Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur? Outside Bolton.
His name for the burning of the Wickerman tonight?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Well, we're here
I missed it
moment.
the last time I was here, so I'm looking forward to seeing it tonight.
Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be somewhere in a gutter.
I'll be getting pagan, dancing naked, and fire. That's what I do.
He's going to be getting shamanic later on.
I like to get shamanic.
Yeah, definitely.
Your album.
The latest one.
It's coming out in Australia in August. In fact, we just got copies of it back. It's quite exciting.
It's called Blaze of Flashes.
It's called Blaze of Flashes, and it's just weird how it's coming out in Australia first. So
Yeah, so it'll hopefully be coming out here
later on this year. So we'll see how it does over there. We're going over there for festivals at the beginning of next year, so can't wait. Sunshine.
It's going to be nice to get to the beach.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. So
This from the beach.
there is a beach here, right?
Today,
Yeah,
it's
somewhere.
over a bit now, but it's been a beautiful day.
It has.
So
we've had
yeah,
fun.
it's good. Can't wait.
I directed everyone to troop up here to the burning, and they then had contemporary fire dancing around the wicker effigy for 45 minutes before they burned it. And I was standing there just feeling the crowd's ire, you know, and the haranguing, barracking, and everyone shouting, "Burn them! Come on!" You know, it was just getting, and the whole atmosphere changed just because of these stupid juggling fire dancing. So hopefully this year we'll have none of that, and they'll just be like, up here, stick a couple of firelighters in, and get a packet of swan vests and burn them.
Trust in me when I say, oh pretty baby, you're gonna baby, baby, let me love you. Higher.
That's my wedding song as well.
That's cool.
That's the first musical introduction we've had tonight.
Can we just keep doing that?
Yeah, that's this finish. See you later.